Hello, ZCerebrate here, and welcome to some more Fantasy War Tactics. This is Tower Dawn, floor 110 for October 2016, an alternate free-to-play strategy without the inclusion of Lee, Persona, or Yekaterina. So hopefully this is some help to you guys. I was able to pull this off 2 times in a row, so I am very comfortable with this strategy now. As you can see by this party, it includes Valkyrie in the last slot, and it's about 142,000 battle power. You want to use Bearman as your main stunner slash tank. You have Mu as your backup stunner. And the reason is this golem type at the top can be abused by stun, and you just want to make sure that your first 3 are Bearman, Mu, and then kind of like your DPS. Your bottom party is going to be handled by Serendi and Valkyrie because there are a few ways to deal with the disarm, but I just found ignoring it for the most part and using Serendi seems to work the best. Plus Serendi is accessible to a lot of you guys out there, so hopefully it's helpful here. Alright, let's get right into it. First things first, obviously you want to have a full lore gauge. You're going to Hellfire immediately, and this is from Rayson's video, credits to him. I just don't even move Bearman at all. Bring Mu down, use her third ability to generate 1 Lord's Charge. You don't really have to do that, but I found, a little bit of min-maxing here and there. You're going to move Serendi down behind Valkyrie and use her second ability for another Lord Charge, and you're using Valk's third ability, but you're not moving at all because you want the dragon to hit you with his third ability, wasting all of his mana. Basically, you want him to move up anyway, but if he moves up and you wait an additional turn, then he's going to hit both of you. This allows you to at least continue to generate charge without risking a double disarm. So that's pretty much it. So Bearman gets that stun off. I got a little lucky, but Mu is there to follow up with her second ability if you need to. You only use that first ability though. So if you notice, none of my attacks really did any damage. So far, you're only looking at the Hellfire values. So in this case, I dropped about roughly 450k for the Magma golem at the top, and the dragon at the bottom drops roughly like 350,000 or so every time I Hellfire. I'm going to kind of keep that in mind because I don't want the Hellfires to inadvertently kill the dragons, and you can really keep a good gauge on their HP. As you can see, I waste a few turns just generating charge. If your DPS is lower than mine, then you basically just continue to spam abilities that do damage so you can keep these bosses in line as you bring them down. So the thing is, this top boss, like I mentioned earlier, has a very broken passive. He's supposed to not take any damage from melee, from ranged attacks, but for whatever reason it's actually the opposite of what his passive reads. So you have to hit him with ranged abilities in order for it to do damage. I'm going to do another Hellfire here. That's my second one. But basically you saw Krut doing his second ability in order to add some damage. You're going to throw Serendi, generate some charge. Valkyrie is down here. The reason I picked her is because she can generate 2 charges at a time, and she's melee. So the Abyssal Dragon at the bottom also requires you to be in melee range in order to do damage. So for her not to do any damage to the Abyssal, you basically use her second or third, and you try to avoid using the co-op attacks. The co-op attacks add about 30,000 to 40,000 damage. Serendi can't damage the Abyssal Dragon at all. She's just there to heal and generate charge and clear debuffs. Valk can do about 80,000 on a regular attack. Krut hits for roughly like 250, 300,000 on his second ability. So I try to keep that in mind when I'm checking the HPs constantly. So something you want to keep in mind is some of these other strategies, especially like Andy Joe's, has a rougher DPS check because you're using Nirvana and Persona, and it's very similar to this strategy where you're using somebody like Nox or Persona to keep the Abyssal Dragon locked down. But the unfortunate side of that is it's much harder to keep the boss HPs balanced in that case. The goal here is to get them both low enough that you're going to be able to clear both of them within the turn with a full lore gauge, so you can throw up a Grace as as soon as you basically finish both bosses, and you lure the dragon directly onto a defense tile to trap him. So right here I'm using Krut's first ability to conserve mana first off, but also to not damage the boss any further, because as you can see here, I can see that the dragon can take another Hellfire down at the bottom. And that was that co-op attack where I was showing 30k damage. It's a disarm, but lucky dodge on Serenity there, I can still cleanse it. This dragon up here is going to die from a Hellfire already because it's already at 300,000. So I realize at this point that I have to basically damage the dragon at the bottom down with Valkyrie and Serenity. So I'm going to start damaging it pretty much as I can using Valk every turn now. And if you get the positional advantage, you can generate 2 charges at a time. So I want you to keep in mind that you don't want to be any further up than where Valkyrie is standing, because the dragon is able to hit at that range, and any further to the side, more than 3 tiles, the dragon has extreme range. So as long as you're perpendicular to it or in a line with any tile that's in the middle platform, the dragon can reach you. That's why you have him focused into this area here. You also ideally want to have that Magma golem have his back turn to Bearman to generate 2 charges per turn. Now at this point I'm pretty much setting up in order to grace in the next turn. So I know that with that amount of damage there, it was 170k, I will be able to kill this Abyssal Dragon in this coming turn. So turn 8, I'm going to check both bosses' HP. And note that Magma Giant's been sitting there for quite a bit now. I've just been kind of letting it catch up. So Abyssal's now at 23k. I know for a fact that it's going to die this turn if I hit it with Valk. So I'm going to move Bearman down. You want to be 1 off from this lava tile. It's good to just look in between the 2 lava tiles. This is so when the dragon goes on the tile, he doesn't immediately AoE in a perpendicular line straight up and hit the rest of your team. So use Moo's third ability to finish that Magma Golem down, and Krut's gonna stand on the edge of that lava tile and hit a positional and typing advantage for 2 charge buffs, but more for the extra damage on that King Slime without the fear of being taunted. Alright, Abyssal's down, so this means the tile opened up. This dragon is going to move down now, and Bearman is in prime position to block him in now. You immediately grace, fall down, trap him in. Now you can use your third ability. It's going to draw all the slimes to you though, so I actually prefer not to use the third. I'll use whatever ability is just going to generate me a charge here. I could have went for the stun, it didn't really matter. But you want to move out from behind Bearman. Actually, on this first turn, the dragon's first move is gonna be like a cross AoE around Bearman. But since I graced, I'm not too worried about it. You just don't want to be in the dragon dive, because that throws a confuse on your characters, and that ends up making you waste DPS turns. Krut's gonna move out as far away as possible from behind them, but you can position them like here to hit this King Slime, because there's 2 targets there, like Moo and Bearman. So the slimes are gonna go over towards them to try to hit as many targets as possible. AI always prioritizes hitting more targets and then the closest target, so keep that in mind. This is for every month as well. So I'm gonna move Serenity up. I'm probably gonna go for the charm, because it's like, I think that's more important than trying to get that defense tile, because Grace has been going up. If I can keep Grace's uptime up the entire time, then the defense tile is not nearly as important. Alright, see, as you can see, I only take 0 or 1 damage while Grace is up, because my characters all have 60% defense or higher. So that's what you're really aiming for. And Bearman, just in case I'm unable to get Grace here, because Grace is going to wear off after this turn, I can probably use my third ability in order to buff my defense for 2 turns. Because I might get taunted here too, so I don't want to like be stuck with no options. But at the same time, since I'm going to move Mew out of the way and probably use Krut to position in a way that 2 targets become available for the slimes that move away from Bearman. I'm going to try to prevent Bearman from being taunted. And once again, even though Krut is perpendicular, since Bearman is standing within 1 tile of him, he'll pretty much always be targeted, especially with his passive aggro, as long as Krut or whatever other character is not wearing an aggro set. Now, that charm was very good. I got a positional advantage, typing advantage, so that's 2 charges. Getting a positional advantage with Valkyrie here. And I'm going to try to prioritize using Valk in the side, because if she gets really near the dragon, like, I don't have a way to attack the dragon other than her third ability. Her second ability is going to taunt the dragon and make it just turn around and blast Krut or whatever. So I want to avoid that happening. I'm just going to more use Valkyrie to try to control the slimes a little bit more. Same with Mu as this goes on. The main purpose of Krut and Mu's positioning right now is to keep in mind that the slimes want to hit more than one person. So if you can position them in a way that they want to move, then they're not going to stay stationary and try to attack both, right? So by putting it here, you're going to have the slime try to move and position in between Mu and Krut, or even Valkyrie and Mu. So they're not just going to stand there and immediately taunt whoever's in front of them. Krut takes the lava tile. Once again, look at that bonus. This is what I discovered during the first time the earlier Yekaterina strategy, where I was like, oh my god, this lava tile here, that is like, I need to abuse that. So that's pretty much where we've been going. Once again, everybody is trying to generate charge to get the graces up. That's what you should really be looking at. And try your best not to get trapped. If you put yourself in the corner there with Serendi, for example, then you're just gonna get like trapped in by the slimes. It's dangerous. I'm probably gonna try to do more DPS to the boss, knowing I was fairly close last time, but I gave myself a lot more breathing room this time around, and both times the DPS check has been very clean, considering my gear hasn't improved much. So something to keep in mind, guys. Alright, just want to generate charge. I probably could just use my first ability, but try to do as much as I can to these slimes. Once again, I'm trying to avoid putting Valkyrie too close to the dragon, because there's nothing other than third ability that can really hit the dragon from Valk's arsenal. I don't want to use the second ability because taunting it will make it turn around and crush the other half of my team with like a dragon dive, for example. So just gonna position Mu in a way that she can generate some damage, but at the same time make the slimes move in order to hit more targets. Hopefully. That's the goal. Now, Krut's gonna continue to generate just 3 charges at a time. It's pretty much the typing, positional, and terrain advantage. Serendi can go behind as well. And I get the typing and positional for there. Honestly, it's like you're just generating grace as much as possible and continue to DPS. Since nobody is right next to Bearman, he's not going to turn around and stun anybody else. He's either going to hit a slime or the dragon. So never really have to worry so much about it. Since he's standing there, he's also not going to move. He gets the computer AI where he's going to hit the closest person. So at 80,000, I'm pretty sure I could kill this slime just by hitting it with everybody. Oh gosh, he didn't die. Oh, that's okay. We'll just continue in the dragon. It should be fine because the slime's going to try to move in between those 3. So it won't taunt me for no reason. Just got a grace here. And we get some more breathing room once again. Continue generating charge. Bearman is like could possibly become a liability if he gets hit by, I don't know, like taunt on top of. Actually, it's basically as long as you're keeping Grace up, it's not going to be an issue. I know Rayson mentioned that you might want to use a merc to clear his CC, so you could use the third ability to buff his defense further. It could be an option that you need, or something to generate more charge with. If you need a rock type in his face to generate one more charge, that could be something you can look into. Especially if you want Bearman to survive another turn, you just transform him into Rage, tank it, and then it'll transform back into Bearman and continue blocking the dragon, allowing you some little breathing room for when Grace isn't charged up. See, like that confusion right there, it's fine. As long as I'm able to generate enough charge in this coming turn, actually, okay. Okay, I'll just use Moo to generate one more charge, like so. And then Krut will generate 3. I could probably get 3 more. 2 from Serendi. Oh wait, even if I get 1 from Valk, that would have been poor, because I'm not going to be able to Grace right now. So right now, actually, I sort of made a miscalculation and made it so that Bearman's going to die right here. Because Grace just wore off, and yeah, Bearman's going to take the brunt of that. Oh jeez. But it's okay, because once again, like, I have other options to survive further. I just need to get into his face. I'll use Rage here, generate some charge, and also it allows you to tank a hit once again. So if Rage didn't get that Grace, but now that he did, he'll still survive. He'll survive this next blow, and then be able to transform back into Moo if he dies, and you still continue to block him for until the 18 turns are up. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys, and if you need any more feedback, please leave a comment down below or hit me up on Reddit, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. My next Fantasy War video will probably be TOD November, so stay tuned.